Hello everybody and welcome back to another race weekend in the SRL. Today both championships are up for grabs. A little bit closer, a little bit tougher I guess in the constructors fight. But let's go through driver standings. FaZe Pantera is currently leading in front of Herbie at 223 points. But Herbie, like I said, is really close behind, 207 points. So both drivers will need to focus and get a good race. Gomez is right behind, 130 points. Stan, 130 points. Del Gizu, 122 points. Tom H, 121 points. SF Rock, 120 points. El Trucker, 117 points, tied with NLR Immortal, 117 points. Yari, 93. Farico, 77. Max, 76. Lenzi, 73. Norjay, 71. Joe, 50. Arjan, 40. Eoin, 39. Razi, 34. Dark, 24. Nathaniel, 23. Rocky, 18. Lenikovsky, 18. F. Hooters, 17. Sammy Janssen 7 and Rijad at 6. Constructors, Williams is currently leading at 336 points, followed by Alfa Romeo at 285 points. Aston Martin 254 points. Mercedes 245 points. McLaren 158 points. AlphaTauri 153 points. And Haas, 148 points. Alpine, 137 points. Ferrari, 135 points. And Red Bull at 97 points. So, first on a hot lap is current leader in the championship, FaZe Pantera. So, really eager to see what kind of pace he has. And I think Herbie will clearly be close behind. So FaZe is on soft right now, doing really good in Sector 1. A lot of traffics on track. And now Williams in trouble. Don't know if he's just letting through people, but or maybe a bit of a tow and teamwork between Herbie and NLR Immortal, but I guess we'll find out later. Using all the tracks. Really good exit so far for FaZe. And sets up a 25.7. So good lap. Next to cross the line will be Vapor Shadow. 28.3 on the mediums. So Joe will cross the line next. 27.3 on the mediums. Really good. And we'll get a Ferrari crossing, El Trucker, as we will jump on Herbie. So El Trucker 26.1, Lenikovsky 26.7, Vapor, Banker Lap, Gomez 26.5, and Herbie goes in the pit. So not a good lap for him. Stay on board with another one coming. I think Farico's coming up next. After racing in Tier 2. He will get a lot of practice and gets a 28.2 on the mediums. So AlphaTauri coming up next. The 28 flat and on the mediums. And Eon may be invalidated, so that's why he set no time. What about Del Gizu? On the mediums as well. I think it's going to be in Banker Lap. Yeah, 52.1. Alfa Romeo coming up next. Phase invalidated, so Vapor maybe on the mediums. Second try. No improvements. What about Joe? I think he's going in. So who's on the hot lap? Maybe SF Rock? Yeah, he is. Trying to improve on the mediums. And SF Rock improves in time, but not in places. 27.6. There's a Nas coming up next. Federico looking to improve. So right now, FaZe is leading in front of his main rival, Herbie, who hasn't set a lap yet. And Federico sets a 27.9 on the mediums, on 2 laps old mediums, and gives a nice tow to NLR Mortal, I think. So we'll stay on board with Williams driver, as there is an Alfa Romeo on track, who has stopped on track, don't know what's happening. A bit of a lockup for NLR Mortal. So we can see drivers trying to use different strategies, and a spin for NLR Mortal. Well, yeah, when you touch this curb, you're pretty much done. So, who's coming up for a lap? I think Herbie goes in the pit once again, so what's happening with him? No time set with just 10 minutes to go in the session. On board with TGL Stewart. And a 26.7 for TGL. So Joe is starting a hot lap, second attempt. And I think FaZe is out as well. Yep, he is. As Joe sets up the fastest Sector 1. And looking to improve. I think he set his time on a medium, so that's why he's improving by so much. Almost 0.3 down on his previous time. Is he gonna get a tow from Ferrari? No, he's not. So no help from his big sister team. And Purple Sector 2 as well, so looking really, really good for Joe. Almost a full second down, so maybe looking at P1 or P2 at the moment. Let's find out. And goes for a P2, provisional P2, 26.1. Really, really good lap, so let's go on board with FaZe. Looking to improve. The McLaren in front of him. Nicely done for a McLaren driver. And sets up the fastest sector 2 right on the line for FaZe. With the Williams looking in the background, I think it is NLR Mortal. Looking really, really good for FaZe. He needs to clutch this one. And improving. 25.6, so Herbie will have a lot of pressure. Let's go on board with him. He hasn't set a time yet. So Ferrari is looking good on this track. Look at this. Alfa Romeo leading, Haas second, and both Ferraris are right behind. And Herbie sets the purple sector 2 right on the line. Not the greatest exit, but clearly will do the job just fine. And El Trucker goes with the 25.9, so a lot of action in front and really tied up close. And Herbie goes only for P4, 26.1. Hasn't break the 25 barrier, so and Joe coming up in the pits. What about Stan? Stan invalidates, so he's gonna go for another round. What about, I think Yari is coming up next. And Yari sets a 25.7, really solid. What about SF Rock? SF Rock goes 26.3. NLR Mortal goes for 25.7. NLR looking good. What about SF Rock's teammate? Del Gizu improving. And Del Gizu goes for 26.1. What about Eoin? On the mediums, so different strategy, 27.5, so not the greatest of laps. Maybe Vapor can set a good time, 27.1 on soft, really not the greatest of laps. I think Eoin maybe is looking for a second attempt. No, he's not. I think Del Gizu is still pushing. Nope, he's not. So, oh yeah, it was a glitch. Yeah, he is. Fastest sector 2, improving by 0.2. And it's going to be really, really tight to get back in the pit. And Del Gizu sets it 26 flat, so really good lap. So he will have to push hard to get in the pit, switch tires, and maybe try a last attempt. And a bit of a snap. Too much aggressive on the curbs. So Herbie's in the pit. Pretty much everybody's in the pit. Gomez jumps in the pit. Vapor jumps in the pit. Eoin jumps in the pit. So only Farico, TGL, and FaZe are on a outlap, so no traffic. Gonna stay on board with FaZe. Really, really looking good right now. Currently leading in the Drivers' Championship. And looking at P1 at the moment, so will warm up some his tires and go for a last attempt. With just under 2 minutes and a half to go in this quali session, pretty much everybody is out. Only 2 cars in the pit lane right now. And FaZe goes for fastest sector 1. Carrying a lot of speed throughout every corners. A lot of traffic in front. Maybe he will gain a bit of slipstream with his teammate right in front. Maybe setting up a tow in the next straight. Clearly will gain from that. And sets the fastest sector 2 as well. A bit of a tow from his teammate, but not the biggest, but will it make any difference? Approaching last turn. And great exit for FaZe. FaZe is looking good. And sets up at 25.6. So Herbie will have a lot of work to do if he want to get close to FaZe. Maybe we'll need a bit of help from his teammate. Not looking like he's pushing right now. But went just a bit wide. Yeah, he's not pushing, so we'll jump on board with him next try. With the McLaren wide. A lot of traffic right now on track, and Yari spins. Yari loses it at turn 10. And what about NLR Mortal's team, Herbie's teammate? No time left in the session, so NLR improving right now, not by much, but can help with Yari boarding his lap. So looking at P2 and maybe trying to help Herbie if he can't manage to do a good time. And NLR Mortal jumps in P2. What Herbie can do now? I think he had purple sector 2, if I'm correct. So last chance for Herbie to close the gap on FaZe. And Herbie goes for P2. So we will have a fight in front. And I think that's pretty much it for quali. And yes, it is. Oh, we will have a fight in front. FaZe alone against 2 Williams. His teammate is all the way down to 17. So just waiting on the timer, I think. Is this session glitch? Okay. Wow. So FaZe gets P1. Barely in front of his main rival, Herbie, P2, NLR Immortal, P3, Yari, P4, El Trucker, P5, Joe, P6, Dalgizu, P7, Lenikovsky, P8, Gomez, P9, Tom, P10, SF Rock, P11, Ferico, P12, Stan, P13, TGL, P14, Lanzi, P15, Vapor Shadow, P16, and Eoin at last, P17. So, yeah, I hope we're gonna get a clean race, but really looking forward to it. So, the current difference between FaZe and Herbie in points is 16 points. So Herbie will need a good race and a mistake from FaZe, but FaZe is looking really strong on this track. Current pit strategy, I think a one stop can work, but soft mediums, I think it can work, but your rear will suffer. Medium, soft, medium, soft is a good strategy as well. Pit lane is not that long on this track, but of course, safety cars is also a thing. But we'll find out in a few moments. So what are your prediction, guys, for this race? Fortunately for Herbie, I think FaZe is looking really good. Unless some mistakes happen, which I do not wish to happen, with contact between Delgezu and Lenikovsky at the end of the formation lap. So Williams will need to work together. So all drivers are ready. We got 5 red lights. And lights are off. And away we go at Barhain. Final race of this season. And FaZe is already looking defensive. And what a start by Yari. Goes on the inside of the Williams. NLR goes a bit wide. And Herbie loses 3 places at the start. And already a safety car. Okay, no, it's only a VSC. My bad, but the contact happened at the back between Delgizu and Linikovsky, maybe? Linikovsky has no wings, so I don't think it will be a full safety car because nobody crashed. But VSC right now, FaZe still in front. With Yari right behind him. Just waiting on that VSC to end. And green again. El Trucker looking to make the move on Herbie. Gets the inside, elbows are out. A bit of contact between both drivers and Herbie loses it on the curb. Wow. And Linikovsky gets a 5-second for speeding in the pit lane. So Herbie will need a miracle to get that championship. I don't think he has damage, but clearly lost a lot of places and time. And FaZe goes wide, missing his braking point. And now Yari closes the gap. Gets the slipstream. Will he be able to make a move on the straight? Clearly got a warning, got a bit wide. Last turn. Yari sets the fastest lap of the race right now. And Yari side by side with FaZe. Just a tiny bit in front. Cuts the corner just a bit. And FaZe really looking good as DRS is enabled. So Linikovsky decided to DNF in the pit lane. I missed that. And 2 DRS train right now. From P1 to P6 and from P7 to P13. Herbie will need to play catch up. And Delgizu gets the job done on Lanzi. FaZe closing the gap on Yari. And Lanzi closing the gap as well on Del Gizu. Will FaZe go for the move right now? Has a look on the inside, but goes back. And Eon also putting the pressure on Lanzi. El Trucker putting the pressure as well on Joe Royal. But Joe will have DRS to defend with. And has plenty of ERS as well. So is FaZe preparing an attack on Yari to get back that lead on the next DRS zone? We'll find out. Looking good. Great exit. No penalties yet. As Yari goes really close to the pit wall and FaZe jumps in front. What about TGL? Can he do it as well? No, he can't. And Yari lost it. Maybe on the exit curve. And now Del Gizu fighting with Vapor Shadow. And El Trucker gets the job done on Joe. And now Herbie move in front of Yari, who both drivers spun. Almost at the same spot. So lots of action right now. I think TGL will go for a move. Farico with both Mercedes looking quick. And now TGL really closing the gap on Farico. ERS, DRS. Will it be a double for Mercedes? No, it is not. TGL gets the job done. Now we'll have to defend against Farico. But stays in front. Yari's in the pit, so don't know if he has damage. And now Del Gizu's falling. And side by side, TGL and Farico. TGL has the advantage of being on the racing line. But now, Farico has DRS. And Farico moves in front. And now Stan looking at his teammate. And gets the job done, so 2 places lost in almost in 2 turns. And NLR Mortal looking to make the move, and Joe, SF Rock on Joe. NLR moves in front of FaZe Pantera. But FaZe will get the DRS. NLR trying to break the toe. Weaving just a bit. And Joe with a launch on the inside, but not enough. And FaZe really good in the S section in Sector 1. So now NLR. Will need to hold back FaZe. But his teammate is really far behind. Herbie spun. Oh, I think 2 laps in and fell to 13. So we will need a miracle. McLaren running wide. And it's really hard to catch up to people when you're out of DRS. And FaZe. Rear end snapping. So entering lap 8. And FaZe goes for the inside move. But NLR is still side by side with him. Who will have DRS? I think FaZe has. Yes, he does. And now NLR is defenseless against El Trucker. And next, El Trucker goes for the inside move. And now fighting with FaZe Pantera for the lead. Great fight. And now SFRock launches an attack and spins. I think it was really dangerous from him to go for this late dive. Hope nobody has damage. Except maybe SFRock for this kinda dumb move, or maybe he just missed his breaking point, I don't know, but really late dive from him. And now for Rico. Really close behind, goes a bit wide. Oh, and DGL almost lost it on the curb. It went a bit wide as well. And El Trucker closing the gap on FaZe for the lead. Let's go in front. Both side by side, but FaZe has the advantage and will get DRS as well. And what about Farico? Can he make the move on Stan? Herbie is in the pits, trying a different strategy, and somebody spun because there was a yellow in sector 1. Don't know what happened, but switched to tires, and Herbie went for fresh mediums. I think we're gonna enter the pit window right now. Look at Stan, really chasing down SFRock, who made a mistake. No damage. Well, no apparent damage for SFRock on that late dive. And there's a Williams in trouble. What happened? And there's a Nos, whose wheel is off. And I kind of missed it, but NLR has damage. And was there any contact between NLR and somebody else? And Joe is now DNF'd, and safety car is out, so a lot of drivers will go in the pits, and that won't be helping Herbie, who has already pitted and now has Delta to respect, and now NLR has a wing change. So only 3 drivers who hasn't stopped. Farico, Vapor, Lenzi. Don't know why they didn't. Maybe they tried to avoid a double stack, but Vapor has no teammates, so don't know why he didn't pit. And Yari was really far behind, so don't know why Lenzi didn't pit as well. But Farico is now leading the actual race. I think Herbie went in the pits for fresh mediums. Not sure. Yari is going to the end. Only one who has pitted for hards. And TGL is now going aggressive on the softs. So only two drivers on different strategy. TGL on soft and Yari on hards. So FaZe is looking good. 10 laps in. Pretty much Herbie needs a DNF from FaZe to get a chance, but I think it won't be possible. But anything can happen. As we're just waiting on Tom to catch up to the rest of the field. Hope you guys are enjoying this race. And Lindsay goes now in the pits. Really, really weird. Now he's falling down to almost to last place. Yeah, I bet. Don't know why he didn't pit. But yeah, like I said, I hope you guys are enjoying this race. I mean, it's really, really nice. And I think we got our first penalties. Which one? Yeah, TGL has a 3-second time penalty. I think he got it on the safety car, unfortunately. So Lanzi went for softs. So he will have to pit again. Stick to tires because Farico and Vapor has not pitted yet. I think we're gonna get safety car in this lap and a race restart with it. Well, Farico has to pit, so I think he's just sticking with his one-stop strategy. As we get the notification for safety car in this lap, so Farico has control of the pace. Stay on board with them for the race restarts. I do not wish for another safety car, I mean. And Farico is going again. I think he got Vapor Shadow sleeping now. And Face Pantera is not. And Mercedes wide. 2 car wide entering turn 1. And NLR Mortal fell. And now Herbie is up to P10. And somebody fell. And it's a Mercedes who lost it on the curb, just like Yari and Herbie. And now FaZe is fighting with Vapor Shadow, and I think Vapor Shadow spawned. He is wide. A lot of stuff happening right now. Don't know why Vapor Shadow got 10 seconds for that, but... And Lanzi got the move on Yari. And NLR Mortal looking really, really quick behind Eoin. So Eoin will have to hold both Williams driver as much as he can to help his teammates secure that championship. Eon not defending. NLR on the inside. What the heck is happening? He was inside of him. I don't know what happened there. And now, Farico and FaZe are switching up places. As El Trucker is trying to detach from the rest of the field, and TGL gets his second penalty. Now Herbie really close behind Eon. And now Vapor DNF'd. And I think Lanzi made a mistake. And now losing places. Tom gets the job done on Delgizu, but Delgizu is still side by side with him. Tom is on the inside line and will get the job done. So Herbie really needs to push and move in front of Eon. As the three drivers in front are running away from the rest of the field, and DRS is enabled, so they will get DRS on the next straight. And Eon, Herbie is not waiting for it, as there is a lockup in front and both are still side by side. I think Herbie will get DRS, and yes he is. And NLR side by side with Stan and moves in front. Stan goes wide. Herbie right behind him. Eon following. And both AlphaTauris in front behind, and Yari launch a late move. And great reaction from Eon to move away from Yari's direction. And Yari looking aggressive on those hards. He won't have to pit, so looking really good. And NLR is now battling with Farico. Farico holding the rest of the field. NLR will get DRS on this straight, and look how close he is, right in the gearbox of Farico. And look at Stan, really close behind NLR, and both are side by side. Farico jumps in, 2 cars wide, entering turn 1. Look at this fight, and Herbie joins the fight. Yari joins the fight, side by side with Marcel. Yari doesn't has the same grip, but really good driving from him as he get a love tap from behind by Eon, who missed his braking point. And now Herbie, Herbie moving in front of his teammate, and his teammate spun. No, he had such a great race. NLR Immortal got tapped from behind, I think, and lost it. So now Herbie is all alone, fighting Stan and looking to catch up to the 3 drivers in front. And Stan's red light is flashing. 13% ERS left. Herbie on the attack. I think Farico is out of DRS, so Yari will get the job done. Remember, Yari does not have to stop. And Eon is really close behind as there's a lockup in front and a lot of action happening in turn 1. Del Gizu gets a 3-second time penalty. And there's yellow in sector 1. Del Gizu lost it on the same curve as everybody. And Stan gets a 3-second time penalty. So Herbie will have to push really, really hard to catch up to the rest of the field as his rear end snaps just a bit. Really tough track on the rear tires. Look how close Jari is to Stan. Stan won't be able to defend, and look how close he is. I mean, Jari's on hards right now. And Stan is struggling like crazy. So Jari is just waiting to get DRS. And he has now. So it will be an easy pass on Stan on the main straight. Can Eoin follows as well, and Stan goes for the defense, and Eoin goes for the inside move, and he will get the RS out of Jari, so easy to defend as there's a switch up in front. FaZe is now in the lead. Didn't see that one coming. What a move, clearly. Del Gizu is in the pits. What a race. NLR Mortal gets the job done on TGL Stewart as there is a yellow in Sector 2. TGL is in trouble. Got passed as well by Gomez. Now Chalker right behind FaZe. So Herbie's currently in the no man's land right now. 3.4 seconds behind SF Rock. And Tom gets the job done on Farico. But Farico will get DRS. And now El Trucker gets P1 again. Look how much DRS FaZe has compared to El Trucker. And now Jari is in Herbie's DRS. Maybe they can work together and make their way up. As NLR Immortal gets a 3-second time penalty. TGL is now in the pits. Fresh mediums. And NLR has no wings. Lost his entire front wing. Don't know how. And now Lenzi makes the move on Stan, so... And now SF Rock gets a 3-second time penalty. I think FaZe won't be close enough, but on the inside, Jari gets the job done on Herbie. Still 3.4 seconds behind SF Rock. They will need to work together if they want to get closer. Farico and NLR are both in the pits. pitting for softs, so they won't make it to the end. Now Del Gizu gets a 5-second for speeding in the pit lane, and there's... Oh, I think, yeah, he DNF in the pit lane, so... That's it for him. Ten laps to go in the final race of this season. Yari is gaining on SF Rock. Almost in the 3-second gap. Herbie losing time. FaZe moves in front of El Trucker. So Herbie can't lose that DRS. Eon moves in front of Stan. And Tom moves in front of Stan. Yellow in sector 2. And that's Eon. No apparent damage. And what happened to Herbie? Lost 2 places. He's now behind Lanzi. I think Herbie is crumbling under pressure right now. Stan goes in the pit. Lanzi's light is flashing. Yari's closing the gap between him and SF Rock. He is flying right now. And... oh, a bit of wheel banging between Lanzi and Herbie spun, and both spun. I think it was just a tiny bit too aggressive. And I think that's it for the championship. FaZe has a hand on Drivers' Championship and a bit of a lockup from Herbie. Yari closer and closer. FaZe goes for the defense. And El Trucker gets the job done, but FaZe will get DRS on the next straight. Gomez setting up a move on Eon. Lanzi is in the pit. I think he got damaged from that. 10 laps old soft, so I think he was struggling and went just a tiny bit too aggressive on the defense. Eon really close behind Gomez as NLR sets up the fastest time of the race at the moment. .3, the gap between Yari and SF Rock. Herbie gets the job done on Eon. FaZe gets P1 back. Almost 100% of VRS. And now he's defending. Right on the line. Don't know if he got a warning out of that. Herbie moves in front of Gomez. I think Yari is pushing now. Almost in the second. 1.2. Next straight, I think. Next straight, he will be in the DRS. He's pushing. He's really, really pushing right now. Is it going to be enough? I don't think it will. Ah, so unfortunate for him. Next lap, maybe. Next lap. Now FaZe is using his ERS to defend. He wants that win. Let's take a look at position change. So SF Rock gained 8 places. And NLR Immortal is the biggest loser right now. Fortunate for him, he had such a good race. And I think El Trucker made a tiny mistake because he's falling down. FaZe trying to break that second gap. I mean, trying to get that second gap. Yari now struggling, no ERS left. El Trucker, almost no ERS. But he is really close behind FaZe. And El Trucker gets the job done, but pushes FaZe wide. Don't know what's happening with Yari, but he is losing time. El Trucker moving away from the slipstream. 4 laps to go in the final race of the season. And now Yari is in the DRS. Maybe mediums are trying to suffer right now. I mean, Yari has a foot on the podium, clearly due to SF Rock's penalty. But can he get P2? Or maybe P1? SF Rock really close behind FaZe. I think FaZe is just waiting on the right moment to make a move on El Tracker. Is Yari looking to set up a move on SF Rock? Really close. Using ERS, using DRS. Is it going to be enough? FaZe really close behind El Tracker. El Tracker moving away from the slipstream. Look how close it is. El Tracker fighting with FaZe, SF Rock, and Yari. Yari goes a bit wide. Lost traction. He needs to stay in the 3-second gap if he wants to be on the podium. Penultimate lap of this race. FaZe looking at the Drivers' Championship and could be with a win as well. Plenty of ERS. Setting up an attack. 3/10 behind El Tracker. Using ERS. And FaZe moves in front of El Tracker. Entering the final lap of this race. He's gonna drain his battery to defend his position against El Tracker. And that won't be enough for El Tracker, but he will get one more chance in the DRS zone after turn 10. As there's a yellow in sector 2. Well, at the end of sector 2, there's a Mercedes in trouble. I think it's DGL, and Neon gets a 3-second time penalty. And there's an Alpha in trouble. Sector 1. And I think it's going to be enough for FaZe defending against El Tracker. It was a great strategy to wait until the last lap and regen his battery to be able to defend. And now breaking the slipstream. El Trucker has no juice left in the battery. So that will be P1 for FaZe and Drivers Championship of Season 5. Yeah, in Tier 1. And El Trucker celebrating with him as well. What a race. Hope we're gonna get much more of that next season. So, FaZe winner, FaZe P1, followed by a Trucker P2, and Yari completing the podium due to SF Rock's penalty. SF Rock fell to P4, Tom H P5, Herbie P6, and decided to bin it at the end. Gomez P7, Perico P8, Stan P9, Lanzi P10. Eon decided to crash it. Don't know why. So yeah, Lanzi P10, NLR Immortal P11, and TGL will get P12 due to Eon's DNF. What a race, guys. So, driver of the day and current winner, FaZe Pantera, made a great quali and a better race. Hope you're gonna enjoy this one, mate. Really nice driving, really consistent. So hope you guys enjoyed the final race of Season 5 of Tier 1. Just a quick reminder that we're gonna host an event between the two seasons, between Season 5 and Season 6. So, and I will be commenting the event as well. So hope you guys enjoyed this one, and really looking forward to next season. Bye everyone.